And the Thackeray brothers are back again, united this time around, as the UBT Shiv Sena and the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena are forging an alliance for the upcoming Maharashtra civic elections. Well, those are the live visuals on your screens right now. There were a lot of speculation about Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray coming together, burying the hatchet, leaving the family feud aside and coming together for their individual political survival. And here we have the confirmation, as both the brothers, flanked by Sanjay Raut on your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen, are present to make that formal announcement to forge an alliance for the Maharashtra's civic elections.
सर्व पत्रकार बंधूंचं स्वागत. ज्या संख्येनं आपण सर्व इथे उपस्थित आहात आणि आपल्यातला उत्साह जो दिसतोय ते पाहता एक गोष्ट नक्की आहे की आजचा दिवस महाराष्ट्रासाठी ऐतिहासिक आहे. सकाळी मी कोणाला तरी सांगितलं की आजच्या दिवसाचं महत्त्व काय आहे. संयुक्त महाराष्ट्राच्या लढ्यानंतर जो संयुक्त महाराष्ट्र.
And my colleague Brijesh Pandey joining me right now to get us more details and insights on this major development taking place in Maharashtra. Well, Brijesh, there was a lot of speculation when we saw Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray sitting for various meetings. It seems like they are willing to bury the hatchet for their individual political survival in Maharashtra. Both of them right now do not command a political poll post in Maharashtra, and the Maharashtra civic election seems to be the only platform where we can see both of them coming together, Maharashtra Navnirman Sena and the Shiv Sena UBT faction.
Well, I think, one thing is very clear, that the reality has dawned on Uddhav Thackeray that if he goes alone, it is not going to augur well for Shiv Sena post the split in which Eknath Shinde broke away with majority of MLAs, and then later on, in 2024 general election, the results which came out from Maharashtra was a huge boost for Uddhav Thackeray and Mahavikas Aghadi. Many felt that this was writing on the wall. The BJP, Eknath Shinde, Sena were facing going downhill, and various factors like that. But then came the Maharashtra Assembly election, and the results stunned everybody. The BJP gave a near miraculous performance. And one thing was very clear.
Interject over there, Brijesh. Uddhav Thackeray is making a speech over there. Let's take a listen.
आणि आता संजय राऊत यांनी संयुक्त महाराष्ट्राच्या लढाईची आठवण करून दिली. तो जो मंगल कलश
लढने की तयारी की सुझाव दिया था,
नारायणाच्या पूजेसारखा आणला गेला नाही. त्याच्या मागे खूप मोठा संघर्ष झालेला आहे.
उन्होंने कहा जिस तरह से महाराष्ट्र की आजादी में बड़ा संघर्ष हुआ था,
किंवा त्याहूनही जास्त मराठी माणसांनी
जिस तरीके से मराठी लोगों ने अपना बलिदान दिया था और मुंबई को महाराष्ट्र दिलाया था,
त्याची आठवण आज होणं स्वाभाविक आहे
और उसकी याद करना आज लाजमी है. हम दोनों ठाकरे बंधु,
आमच्या दोघांचे आजोबा प्रबोधनकार,
हम दोनों के पिता
हे संयुक्त महाराष्ट्राच्या लढ्यामध्ये
ये संयुक्त महाराष्ट्र की लड़ाई में
एक सेनापती, त्यांच्या सोबत
उनके साथ में
माझे वडील म्हणजे
मेरे
शिवसेना
दादाजी
हिंदू हृदय सम्राट बाळासाहेब ठाकरे,
बाळासाहेब ठाकरे मेरे पिता,
म्हणजे माझे काका श्रीकांतजी ठाकरे,
मेरे काका,
म्हणजे अख्खं ठाकरे घराणं
पूरा ठाकरे परिवार
संघर्ष करत होता.
मुंबई के लिए लड़ा था.
इतिहास मी काही आता तुम्हाला सांगत बसत नाही,
इसके
पण
और भी
मुंबई
इतिहास है.
महाराष्ट्राने मिळवल्यानंतर
मुंबई को महाराष्ट्र मिलने के बाद
माणसाच्या उरावरती
मराठी भाषा की
लागले, आणि त्यावेळेला न्याय हक्कासाठी
हम अपने न्याय के लिए
शिवसेनेला जन्म द्यावा लागला.
मराठी लोगों के न्याय के लिए शिवसेना प्रमुख बाळासाहेब ठाकरे ने शिवसेना को जन्म दिया.
60 वर्ष होतील. इतकी वर्ष व्यवस्थित गेली,
इतने साल बहुत अच्छे से गए.
परत आपण पाहतो आहोत की मुंबईचे लचके, मुंबईच्या चिंधड्या उडवायच्या हे मनसुबे त्यावेळेला ज्यांना मुंबई पाहिजे होती त्यांचेच प्रतिनिधी, जे वरती दोघ जण, वरती म्हणजे इकडे नाही दिल्लीत, बसलेले आहेत त्यांचे
दिल्ली में 2 लोग जो बैठे हैं,
आणि आता जर का आपण भांडत राहिलो,
अभी हम लोग ठंडे बैठ गए तो
काय संघर्ष, ते जे काय
जो हमारा संघर्ष था
त्याचा मोठा अपमान होईल,
वो उसका अपमान हो जाएगा।
कर्तव्य म्हणून
आज हम अपने कर्तव्य के लिए
आणि मी
एक साथ आए हैं,
एकत्र आलो आहोत ते एकत्र राहण्यासाठी,
एक साथ आए एक साथ रहने के लिए।
मुंबईवर
आगे
आणि महाराष्ट्रावर
मुंबई में, महाराष्ट्र में
वाकड्या नजरेने किंवा त्यांच्या कपटी
कोई किसकी नजर से हमें देखा,
महाराष्ट्राला मुंबईपासून किंवा मुंबईला महाराष्ट्रापासून मराठी माणसापासून तोडण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल,
मुंबई को मराठी लोगों से या महाराष्ट्र मराठी लोगों को दूर रहने की कोशिश किया,
मैदानात उतरलेलो,
किसी को छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा, इसलिए हम दोनों मैदान में उतरे हैं।
मी तुमच्या सर्वांच्या माध्यमातून मला कल्पना आहे की आज केवळ महाराष्ट्रच नाही तर अख्खा देश बघतोय,
पूरे
सर्वांना
लोगों को हम बताना चाहते पूरे देश में
आणि एक सूचना सुद्धा करतोय, कारण मागे विधानसभेच्या वेळेला भारतीय जनता पक्षाने जो एक अपप्रचार केला होता, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे,
विधानसभा चुनाव में बीजेपी ने जैसे प्रचार किया था, बचेंगे तो कटेंगे,
तर संपाल, आता जर का फुटाल तर पूर्णपणे संपून जाल, म्हणून परत एकदा तुटू नका, फुटू नका,
एक बार फिर से तुम समझूंगा, टूटो मत फूटो मत, मराठी लोगों के लिए साथ आओ।
दोघांच्या युतीच्या निमित्ताने
यही हमारी हम दोनों की
महाराष्ट्र देतो आहे, आणि मला
पूरे
खात्री
महाराष्ट्र की इच्छा है
की मराठी माणूस हा सहसा कोणाच्या वाटेला जात नाही, पण त्याच्या वाटेला जर का कोणी आलाच,
मराठी माणूस किसी की गिरबान में जाता नहीं, लेकिन उसकी गिरबान जो झाकेगा उसको वापस छोड़ते नहीं।
परत मनापासून धन्यवाद देतो आणि
सभी को धन्यवाद देता हूँ।
आपणा सर्वांचं मी मनपूर्वक स्वागत करतो। जे काय बाकी बोलायचंय ते सगळं जाहीर सभा जेव्हा सुरू होतील त्यावेळेला बोलूच आम्ही, परंतु माझी एक मुलाखत झाली होती आणि मी मुद्दामून आठवण करून देतो त्या गोष्टींची, आणि त्या मुलाखतीमध्ये मी असं म्हटलं होतं की कुठल्याही वादापेक्षा आणि भांडणापेक्षा महाराष्ट्र मोठा आहे, आणि मला असं वाटतं तिथून त्या आज आम्ही एकत्र येण्याची सुरुवात त्या वाक्यापासून झाली। कोण किती जागा लढवणार, आकडा काय हा नाही सांगणार तुम्हाला, महाराष्ट्रामध्ये सध्या लहान मुलं पळवण्याची खूप टोळ्या फिरतायत, त्याच्यामध्ये 2 टोळ्या अजून जास्ती ऍड झालेल्या आहेत, ते राजकीय पक्षांमधली मुलं पळवतात, आणि जे निवडणुका लढवणार आहेत त्या लढवणाऱ्या सर्व उमेदवारांना दोन्ही पक्षांकडनं उमेदवारी दिली जाईल, ती कधी भरायची केव्हा भरायची ते आपल्याला कळवलं जाईल। आज फक्त आपल्या समोर एकच गोष्ट मी आपल्याला सांगू इच्छितो की बरेच दिवस ज्याची प्रतीक्षा महाराष्ट्र करत होता ती शिवसेना आणि महाराष्ट्र नवनिर्माण सेनेची युती झाली, हे आज आम्ही आपल्याला जाहीर करत आहोत। धन्यवाद।
संपला ते बरं झालं
नाही, आकड्यांचा खेळ आता सांगायचं नाही। अजून बाकीच्या महापालिकांमध्ये सुद्धा कालपर्यंत युती झालेली, जशी नाशिकमध्ये झालेली आहे, बाकीच्या ज्या महापालिका आहेत त्यांची सुद्धा त्यांच्या तिथल्याही युतीवरती आज उद्या शिक्कामोर्तब होईल। त्यांच्यावरती प्रतिक्रिया देण्याच्या तरी पातळीचे राहिलेत का ते? त्यांना त्यांच्या पक्षात सुद्धा कोण विचारत नाही।
मला असं वाटतं की उत्तर देवांना द्यावीत, दानवांना नाहीत। मुंबईचा महापौर मराठीच होणार आणि तो आमचाच होणार.
There's Raj Thackeray.
मला असं वाटतं की एक मुख्यमंत्र्यांचा व्हिडिओ पण फिरतोय ज्याच्यामध्ये ते अल्ला हाफिज असं म्हणलेत.
There's also a
बरोबर ना?
chief minister's video
गोष्टी
that's
त्यांनी
going
सांगू
viral
नयेत.
currently.
माझ्याकडे खूप
wherein
व्हिडिओज
he's
आहेत.
saying Allah Hafiz.
काय ते काय बोलतात त्याच्यावरती माझे व्हिडिओ तयार असतील.
So my videos that go viral are always based on what that particular chief minister says.
काय म्हणायचं त्याच्यावरती?
What more should I
कसं
say?
बोलायचं रे? मला असं वाटतं आज मुंबईचं मी तुमच्यासमोर आम्ही जाहीर करत आहोत आणि बाकीच्या जशा अशा होतील तशा तुम्हाला कळवलं जातील.
I believe today we have announced our alliance between Shiv Sena and MNS together. As we move ahead in the coming days, we'll give you further details on the exact seat sharing that is going to take place and be cemented between us.
हे जरतर वरतीच खूप असतं सगळं.
If is a very big supposition. There is no if this happened or if that happened in politics.
भाजपला काय हवंय ते भाजपने पाहावं, मराठी माणसाला काय पाहिजे ते आम्ही पाहतो.
Bajaj can decide, BJP can decide what it wants. As far as we are concerned, we will decide what the Marathi Manus wants.
चर्चा सुरू आहे. बघू त्यांच्यात आम्ही आज आमची युती जाहीर केलेली आहे, शिवसेना आणि महाराष्ट्र नवनिर्माण सेना.
Uddhav adds that discussions are on.
जे महाराष्ट्र प्रेमी आहेत त्याच्यात काही भाजपातले सुद्धा अस्सल मराठी
parties are concerned
आहेत ते सुद्धा येऊ शकतात. ही महाराष्ट्र रक्षणासाठी महाराष्ट्र प्रेमींची युती आहे. त्याच्यात काही जण भाजपमध्ये सुद्धा आहेत, त्यांना हे जे काही चालले ते पाहवत नाहीये किंवा सहन होत नाहीये, ते सुद्धा येऊ शकतात.
MNS is for the Marathi Manus. Other alliance colleagues can take a call.
काँग्रेसने जर जाहीर केलं ना,
political compulsions.
हो मग आता म्हणजे आणखीन काय बोलायचं, तोडलं का बघा, मला बाकी कोण काय म्हणते त्याच्याशी काही कर्तव्य नाही. मी परत एकदा सांगितलं, महाराष्ट्राला आणि मराठी माणसाला काय पाहिजे ते आम्ही दोघं बघतो.
The further says that he is not concerned about what anybody else is saying, but as far as he is concerned and Raj Thackeray is concerned, they know what the Marathi Manus.
सगळे पक्ष बाहेर पडून आघाडी आबाधित आहे.
Earlier, Raj Thackeray pointed out that all the little children are going missing in Maharashtra, particularly from the political parties, and that is why they are not disclosing the exact seat sharing and candidates in the immediate present moment. And they would be timing it according to the filing of nominations and candidatures so that people are not.
आम्ही हा निर्णय जाहीर केला होता आणि नंतर काय झालं तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, म्हणून आज आम्ही तो निर्णय जाहीर करत नाही आहोत.
Uddhav adds, you know why we are not disclosing these details today? Because the last time I did so, you all witnessed how the poaching.
आमचं दोघांचंच घर आहे ना, दार बंद कशाला करायचं. ठीक आहे, चला, मला असं वाटतं बाकीच्या प्रश्न आता काही तसं काही नाहीये. निवडणुकीपूर्वी अरे झालेलं आहे रे जागा वाटप.
माझी
re-emphasized that the seat sharing decision and agreement had already been consolidated with Shiv Sena and MNS, but he would still not disclose it at this moment.
माझी विनंती आहे की आमच्या पाठीमागे उभे राहा. धन्यवाद.
Raj Thackeray has urged everybody to back the Shiv Sena MNS alliance for the forthcoming civic elections, particularly in Mumbai city and Thane city, where the two parties have some stronghold pockets and intend to be able to reach the winning line because of this alliance that for so many years has been a disruption for each other as political entities.
Screens right now, you can see Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray coming together for the upcoming Mumbai's civic body elections, where Uddhav Thackeray did mention how they recall their contribution of their fathers and grandfather who fought for the Marathi Asmita. They fought for Mumbai, and Bal Thackeray formed a Shiv Sena to bring about justice for Marathi Manus and Marathi language. And if they remain silent now in today's day and age with the given circumstances, they will be doing a disservice to the people of Maharashtra, and they will not be doing justice to the contribution of their ancestors. Given the circumstances then, they want to send across a message to the people of India, is what Uddhav Thackeray said, that like the BJP, he went ahead and quoted the BJP saying that batenge to katenge, and it is for the people of Maharashtra that the cousins have decided to come together. I'm joined by Reni Abraham, a senior journalist. I'm also joined by Brijesh Pandey from the newsroom. I'll first come across to you, Brijesh. You've heard what Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray had to say. And this is going to be a landmark moment as far as Maharashtra politics is concerned. Should the BJP be worried?
Really significant moment as far as the Shiv Sena politics is concerned. Why it is significant is if you go from the 2024 general elections performance. After that, in the assembly election, in the panchayat election, local body elections, which happened 3-4 days back, the BJP is on the roll. And the fact of the matter is that there is a virtual near decimation as far as Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned, and also a very poor performance by Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray. And it looks like, whenever the question came as to who is the real Shiv Sena, the question between Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena and Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena, it looked like that the Shiv Sena cadre was clearly shifting towards Eknath Shinde, because his electoral performance, and especially in areas which were considered as bastion of Shiv Sena, the number of seats have gone completely in favor of Eknath Shinde rather than Uddhav Thackeray. So I think, this coming together of two Thackerays is also an act driven by desperation, driven by the fact that very soon, if this continues, the brand Thackerays might be completely marginalized. And most importantly, BMC is the richest board when it comes to, the municipal corporation in the entire country, and the Shiv Sena would want to retain that, and this is the reason why. And a very reality check which Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena has gotten in the last 3-4 election, I think this was something which was inevitable. Raj Thackeray on his own is a political non-entity, other than having an image of a very hardcore Marathi, a very aggressive Marathi Manus, something catering to the traditional Shiv Sainiks, which was not kind of finding itself in alliance with the politics of Uddhav Thackeray. So I think, more than the percentage of vote which Raj Thackeray has gotten in the last 3-4 assembly election, the fact of the matter is that, the aggressiveness which was missing from Uddhav Thackeray will now be compensated by Raj Thackeray.
Absolutely, Brijesh. Well, thank you for getting us all those details and bringing about some insight on this major development taking place in Maharashtra. Let me go across to our guest this afternoon. I'm joined by Reni Abraham. Well, thank you and good afternoon, Mr. Abraham, for taking our time and joining me here at News 9. We've heard what Brijesh was mentioning over there, that both Navanirman Sena and Shiv Sena UBT have been almost routed in the last few elections. And this is pretty much their decision to come together to save their political extinction of sorts. How do you look at this, Mr. Abraham?
A very good afternoon to you, Samia. And as I had stated on News 9 Live earlier, that it is a matter of political survival for not just Uddhav Thackeray, as also Raj Thackeray, the MNS chief. And it's been apparent ever since 2005, when Uddhav Thackeray was anointed as the heir apparent to the legacy of the Shiv Sena party that was then still being led by the late Bala Saheb Thackeray, it was very clear that the division in the two cousins had set in. Now, if I may give you a little bit of history, Samia, back in 1996, when I was working for the Current Weekly, I was, and when Bala Saheb had to go for a bypass surgery, I was seized with the assignment to write on the potential next chief of the Shiv Sena. And I was lucky enough to speak to the right people in the Sena and be able to predict 9 years before Uddhav was actually anointed that he would be the next chief of the Shiv Sena. that set in the division between the two cousins, because Raj Thackeray was always the apparent political heir, given his mannerisms and style of oratory, which always reflected, mirrored the reflection of Bala Saheb Thackeray. So therefore, that division set in. Raj Thackeray soon enough left the Shiv Sena because he felt he had been slighted, and it was his rightful due, considering that Uddhav Thackeray has always been associated as a more artistic man, particularly given his penchant for photography, and he was never ever really interested in politics. But as we understand dynastic politics in India, the father will always want to emphasize his son to take over his political legacy, any field it may be so. And thereafter, Raj Thackeray divided and formed his own party, and ever since he has been cutting into the vote share of the Shiv Sena party at every subsequent elections. So this time round, what you're seeing is the BJP having secured in the last Vidhan Sabha elections close to 30% of the vote share. The Shiv Sena and Raj Thackeray together also constitute a similar 30% vote share, which would otherwise have been dividing into their seat arrangements. So now they are hoping to match up with the BJP. What is important to realize here is in the 2017 BMC elections, the last civic elections of Mumbai, the Shiv Sena was fighting against the BJP, but it was an undivided Shiv Sena, and still emerged as the winner with 85 corporators elected on the party ticket, whereas the BJP was able to secure 83. So it was a tight battle between the two state government alliance partners who chose to fight against each other for that particular BMC elections in 2017. So this is the election right after that being held 8 years hence, because the last 3 years the elections had not been put out. So what it tells you is this time it's going to be not only a battle of survival, but also about making a political point about in their stronghold. Mumbai and Thane are the real strongholds of the Shiv Sena party, and what little influence Raj Thackeray has, besides the Nasik Civic Corporation. So it's not just BMC, but around 28 other civic corporations that are now up for battle of politics, with the Shiv Sena desperate to retain its stronghold in Mumbai and in Thane and try to hold sway over the corporations here.
Very strong points you've made over there, Mr. Abraham. I'll take that question across now to Brajesh. Well, when we're talking about both the cousins, the brothers coming together, they have very categorically and have chosen the Marathi Asmita as the peg to reach out to the people, because this is sure to connect with the masses, especially with the Karyakartas. This coming together of the brothers is also to try and infuse some new lifeblood into the party workers. But what does it talk about the survival of also the Mahavikas Aghadi? It's not just the brothers coming together, but it's also the Mahavikas Aghadi ally members.
Well, I think, there are two things at work here. The most important is that, yes, this will be a shot in arm as far as... very much that it's Raj Thackeray who has copied the mannerism, the speaking style, the aggressive style of Bala Saheb Thackeray. And if you compare him to Uddhav Thackeray, he comes across as a docile, decent, somebody who's not dyed in a wool Shiv Sainik, the kind of Shiv Sena we have watched and the kind of Shiv Sena Bala Saheb Thackeray was leading. So this will be a shot in arm, because what was happening is that that there were many who felt the devoted cadres of Shiv Sena felt that Uddhav Thackeray lacks the charisma of Bala Saheb Thackeray. Uddhav Thackeray lacks the aggression which was required, and that is the reason why there was a major massive shift of all the loyal Shiv Senics to Eknath Shinde camp, and this was working. This worked out very well for the Bharatiya Janata Party and also for the Mahayuti alliance. So this will definitely be a shot in arm for Uddhav Thackeray. This will be a shot in arm for the almost non-existent political fortune of Raj Thackeray. I think it gives him a chance to resurrect his political fortune, as he's been in oblivion for a long time now as far as politics of Maharashtra is concerned. But yes, the Congress has already fired the first bullet, and they have said that if Raj Thackeray becomes part of Shiv Sena, then it will be very, very difficult for the Congress to go on and keep on supporting Shiv Sena. So I think it will be, looks like, if you go by the statement which has been made by a couple...
आपको इतना सीट से जो व्यापार है
यहाँ भाइयों में व्यापार नहीं है, ये फैमिली है, समझा। हम देख लेंगे हमको क्या करना है।
कांग्रेस को भी आखिरी
देखिए, कांग्रेस को हमने बहुत बार रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि बीजेपी को अगर हमको हराना है तो आपको साथ आना होगा।
शरद पवारांना सोबत येण्याबाबत तुम्ही या संदर्भात पाठपुरावा करत होता, जेव्हा कोण बोलत होतं की युती तेव्हापासून तुम्ही बोलत होता, काय भावना आहे तुमच्या?
आनंद आहे सगळ्यांसाठी।
Well, that was Sanjay Raut over there saying that they have time and again reached out to the Congress party and sent across a message to say that if you want to defeat the BJP, you have to come on board. Brijesh, that is exactly the question I was asking to you about Mahavikas Aghadi and their ally partners. Of course, the brothers are coming together. Sanjay Raut sending across a message saying that it is not about vyapar or business. This is the family. They are talking about a legacy from Bal Thackeray to their grandfather, and now both these brothers, they're taking forward the legacy of the Thackerays to the people of Maharashtra and standing for the Marathi Asmita. What happens then to the other parties who are also being benched by the brothers coming together?
Well, the thing is that the Congress till now was very comfortable with Uddhav Thackeray brand of politics because, he was never perceived as or seen as a firebrand, a typical Thackeray clan. He came across as suave, he was a sophisticated guy, and he was never like, breathing the kind of politics or talking up in the language which would have made Congress extremely uncomfortable. The Congress was, in a way, was able to differentiate between Bala Saheb Thackeray and his successor, Uddhav Thackeray. But coming of Raj Thackeray together, I think the Congress is in some sort of a bind, and this is the reason why they have already started voicing their discomfiture quite publicly. Now, if you look at what Shiv Sena UBT spokesperson said that, that they have also fired the retaliatory shot when they said that, the Congress is like a tourist when it comes to politics in Maharashtra. But I think, the Thackeray's would want Congress party to be part of, to remain with Mahavikas Aghadi and not to strike a solo chord, as was also mentioned by Sanjay Raut, because he knows that to defeat BJP, only Shiv Sena can't do that. You have to have a wide-ranging alliance. Now, it'll be very, very interesting to see how this pans out, because Raj Thackeray coming together will definitely would not be the same thing as Congress has been, kind of differentiating between the hardline politics and the soft Hindutva approach of Uddhav Thackeray. Now, the picture changes completely with the entry of Raj Thackeray into the Gadbandhan.
Absolutely. I'll first, I have paucity of time. I have exactly 60 seconds, Reni Abraham. Quickly, the kind of political messaging that has been put across by Uddhav Thackeray when they are talking about BJP using battenge to katenge, and the same message has to percolate down the entire country that this is what they're coming together for. How do you look at it? I have paucity of time, Mr. Abraham.
Well, Uddhav Thackeray has very clearly emphasized that he knows the BJP has been working to clearly decimate his political party. We saw that happening first in 2022 when the Shiv Sena was bifurcated, with the 40 MLAs choosing to walk out under the leadership of Deputy Chief Minister today, Eknath Shinde, and allying with the BJP party. So for Uddhav, battenge to katenge is not just a slogan that has impacted the country, but also his own party that he has to face. Now, having said that, the BJP always insists that, look, we have been actually pandering to Uddhav Thackeray's, every women wish when he was in alliance with us. And today you will notice that the Congress is not exactly willing to do the same. Uddhav Thackeray has insisted that he wants to contest 150 out of the 227 seats, and therefore he's allying with Raj Thackeray, and the Congress and Sharad Pawar faction today are likely to take a call on whether they will ally or to separate.